Ask yourself, what was your dream? Think back to you 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 1 year, it could be last week. Think back to that big dream you had, that thing you always wanted to achieve, the thing you just can't stop thinking about. What is it? Maybe you thought about it today. Most likely thought about it today because if it's your big dream and you really want it, you think about it every day. What's that thing you wanted? Was it to be famous? Was it to grow a YouTube channel? Was it to be a bodybuilder? Was it to be a marathon runner? Was it to be an author? Was it to be the best at this thing or that thing or a world champion at this or good at this or just live a peaceful? What's that thing you've always wanted? Have you always wanted to, go and live in the bush and just camp and live that like survival lifestyle? Did you want to live in a big city in a nice apartment? Did you want to have that car? Did you want to have 100,000 subscribers? Did you want to have a family? Like, what's that thing you've always wanted? And ask yourself, have I stopped chasing that? Have I stopped chasing that? Because the thing is, when we are kids, when we are children, when we're even, in our early teenage years, we all have these dreams, these things we want to achieve, these things we're like, that would be really cool if I could achieve this thing. We all have those things. But what happens is when life, gets real, as people say, you start to lose those dreams because your mind is preoccupied with other things, right? School gets more challenging, family stuff, you've got to get a job and work or study, and life just becomes more busy and complicated, and so you lose sight of those big goals you had. But make sure you keep those goals alive. The thing is, the only thing that separates a person who achieves those big goals and doesn't achieve those big goals is the person who did achieve them, never stopped thinking about it and never stopped trying. But the person who didn't achieve it just forgot about it. They just was like, oh, that's cool, and they never thought about it again. And you can control how often you think about something, right? Like you can't control if you think about it less, right? But you can control if you think about it more, right? So if you have a goal, don't forget about the goal. Write the goal on a whiteboard, put it on a bit of paper, stick it to the wall, put it on your laptop, put it as your phone screen, and you won't forget. It'll be there every day. So what's that thing you wanted? And what are you doing every single day? What have you done today? Not every single day, not an average, an average day, a good day. What have you done today, this day right now, to get towards that goal? For me, my big goal is I want to get 100,000 subscribers on YouTube by the time I'm 18. It's just a goal, right? It would be cool. Who knows? Will I hit it? Will I not? Don't know. Hopefully, but it's just a goal. It'd be cool, right? It's my big, one of my big goals. Like, if I could really do something cool, I'd probably want to do that. I mean, there's money and there's physiques, but if I, one other thing other than like necessary things like health, right, and family, I'd probably want to have 100k subs. And I was thinking, what have I done today towards this goal? Well, I got up at 4:30. I got out of bed, right, get dressed, go straight to the kitchen, put the kettle on, made my coffee, sat at the kitchen table with my laptop, was editing the intro for this video. Actually, I'll show you the intro I was editing, because last thing I was doing, let me turn this back on. I'm 15. What can I really lose? I don't have to pay rent. I don't have to provide for a family. Nothing. So if I... That's going to be that goes like 50 seconds. That's going to be the intro for the next vlog, right? I was working on that this morning. All the text and all the clips and stuff. That's going to be the next thing. That's what I was working on, right? I want to get 100k subs, and part of it's making videos and documenting the journey. That's what I was working on. Then I had a coffee, did some more videos. I kept editing. Then I filmed a video. Then I went out for a run with my dad. All that stuff adds up to the 100k goal. You might go, oh, how does coffee help you? Well, I'm able to work harder. I'm able to be more focused. I'm able to be more sharp and quick and reacting fast. So I can edit quicker because my mind is sharp, right? The run, how does that help? Well, it gets the blood flowing again. It gets my muscles going. It gets my legs working. It overall improves my physicality, my body. It improves my health, which means one, the better, you can never have too much health, right? You can never run out of health. Health is always a good thing to have. So just being healthy in general lets you operate much better, mentally, physically, everything. And also, I get stronger, so I'm going to be more mentally, I'm going to be like, if I'm stronger physically, I'm also better mentally because I'm like, I'm stronger. I can do this, I can do that. So it's overall benefits me, which then, in turn, indirectly leads to the goal of 100k subs. Everything I do leads to the goal. Whether it's going to the gym every day, or not every day, go to the gym 4 days a week, right? Every day that I can go when they're not either closed or I'm at work. That helps me with my goals of YouTube or of making the money because it improves me, right? There's nothing that improving you doesn't help, right? You meditating for 5 minutes in the morning doesn't actually negatively affect anything. You can get 5 minutes. Doesn't matter how busy you are. You might be like, oh, I don't have any time. If you're on time, you don't have any more time, and you're on time, I'm sure you can squeeze 5 minutes out. You might be a little bit late. If you're already late, what's 5 minutes? You can find 5 minutes. It won't negatively affect you. It's just 5 minutes. There's no situation where being a better version of yourself, a stronger version of yourself, a smarter version of yourself, a more calm version of yourself will not benefit you. So improve yourself. okay? And because it all goes towards your goal. Whether your goal is to be a marathon runner, right? Going to the gym is still helpful. And if your goal is to be an author, going to the gym is still helpful because you are better physically, and because you're better physically, you're better mentally. Because you're better mentally, you're better physically. It's linked, right? So improve yourself, because it's the only thing that applies to everything, right? Whether it's through meditating, whether it's through journaling, or the culture has typical self-improvement habits, right? Whether it's through creating content, starting a business, trying to make money, whether you get a job and you invest in it, that's what I'm doing. The only way I'm making money right now is I have a job and I work as many hours as I can, and then I try and invest money, right? Whether that's in stocks or potentially crypto. That's what I'm doing. That's how I'm trying to make money. I've got a few other things I'm trying to do, a few other things I've got on the side on and off, but that's my, basically, at the moment, the only way I'm making money. It all goes towards the big goal. Every dollar I make goes towards my goal, right? This camera that I bought the other day, I paid for this with money from my job. I'm not making money online. This camera came from money from my job. My Sony camera, which is down on the floor, $1,000, came from the money on my job, right? Progress and improving yourself and working hard is never going to be a negative. So what are you going to do with it? Right? Well, improve yourself, and then what now? What's your big goal? What's the goal you always had? And why aren't you taking action? Ask yourself those questions. What's the goal I've always had? And why aren't I taking action? And or what actions do I need to take? Okay? If you are taking actions, how can I improve what I'm doing? Do I need to get rid of things? You might need to take things out of your routine. For me at the moment, my life is extremely busy. I need to cut things out of my routine. So for the last 2 days, I haven't posted any short form content because I'm like, I have things to focus on. I've been still posting daily videos, but I've cut out the short form because I just have things to do, right? It's 8:33, I gotta go. I gotta start work at 9, so see you tomorrow.